I got the horse right.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads. I'm going to go through Forster. Going to go through it's a great weekend. We got
the biggest weekend.
Kentucky Oaks, Kentucky Derby. We have 15 great races at Hastings this weekend as well, with
including
four stakes races. It's going to be a lot of fun. The weather's supposed to be great here. I know there's been a little bit of rain back at Church in Louisville, but
yeah, it rained well last weekend. It was very sloppy there, and there has been a touch of rain, but it's supposed to be nice going forward for tomorrow for the Oaks and Saturday, obviously for the Kentucky Derby. Mike mentioned 4 great stakes on hand here, 2 for the older horses.
On Saturday, the older boys, older girls, or older mares will be on Saturday, and then Sunday the 3-year-olds will be in the spotlight.
Yeah. And obviously we're taping this show for Saturday, but as of taping, this is on Thursday, and we are going to touch first on the Kentucky Oaks, which runs on Friday at about 10 to 3 our time. Mario is in this race as well. Of course, he's on the favorite in the Derby, Nyquist, for Paul Redham and Doug O'Neill. They team up, all 3 of them team up on Friday with Landover Sea in the Kentucky Oaks. $1 million purse, going a mile and an 1/8 for 3-year-old fillies, of course. Field of 14. I do like Landover Sea here. She's running in California and running into a filly called Songbird that unfortunately did not make it into the Kentucky Oaks, but if she had would have been by far the favorite.
Right, of course. Songbird would be 1-9 in this race.
Should be a heavy favorite.
It makes things a lot more interesting. Way better betting race without Songbird in it.
Absolutely. I do like Landover Sea. The other horses to keep an eye on, obviously, Rachel's Valentina. A lot of people like this filly because, of course, of her dam, Rachel Alexandra, the great mare who won the Preakness.
Beat the boys at Saratoga too in the Woodward or something. Like
that.
That's
right.
Beat older gelding. That's like unheard of.
And fought the whole way, got pressured, and one of the best races you'd ever see. But Rachel's Valentina, a lot of people in the horse racing industry cheering for her because of Rachel Alexandra. She's got a very good record. 2 wins and 2 seconds in her 4 starts, lifetime, very limited starts. Landover Sea's run 8 times, 7 of those in the money. As I mentioned, kept running into Songbird, but recently won the Fairgrounds Oaks in New Orleans. And since like 1999, 8 fillies coming out of the Fairgrounds Oaks have won the Kentucky Oaks. So it's a good prep race for her. It was back on the 26th of March. She gets a nice break coming into this. 5 to 1 on the morning line. Be interesting to see how that shakes out. Other horse to keep a look on, maybe Weep No More in the 2-hole. She just beat Rachel's Valentina last time in the Ashland at Keeneland. And maybe Catherine Sophia, who did run 3rd in that race as well. But I like Landover Sea. I'm obviously going betting heavy, the Mario on the Oaks Derby double.
Of course, yeah. Oh, everyone will be cheering for him anyway.
Yeah.
Lucky you
got
13
weekend.
in the Oaks, got 13 in the Derby. Unlucky he's 13.
Lucky 13.
Hopefully for Mario this weekend.
Well, he was Nyquist actually was 13 in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Yes,
so
lucky number. He just keeps getting better. 13. Who says it's unlucky?
Not for Mario.
I agree with the 13 Landover Sea. Got rid of Songbird. There's no reason to go against this horse. The post is a little bit of a concern. Going the mile and 1/8 trip. It's not a big run to the first turn. Mario's going to have to get creative with her. But she looks like she's as good as anything else in here.
Yeah.
The 12 horse, Catherine Sophia, had her first taste of defeat last time, but she fought all the way to the wire against long shot winner Weep No More.
And she was wide that day, too. She made a nice, big, wide sweep move. Only got beat a half a length.
No, I think Javier will be a little more patient with her. Javier Castellano re-rides. I don't mind the 14. I like all the outside horse. I put the 14 taxable in there. It's a big rider change from Joe Rocco Jr. to Mike Smith. And obviously Mike would like to be on Songbird, but might be able to win it anyway with the Steve Asmussen runner. 2 easy wins first time out. Then showed a little bit of her inexperience in the Oaklawn, the fantasy, and which got her beat that day. But I think she's worth a look as well. It might be 15 to 1.
And what I like about her, only 3 starts, but always improving. A 64 by her, a 72, and 81, definitely going the right way.
Yeah, I went 13, 12, and 14. I think those are your horses, but it's a really good Oaks without Songbird, unfortunately, in it. But should be a lot of fun. That's Friday for that race going at, I think, just like as you mentioned,
about 10 to 3, yeah.
About 2:48 or something like that on for tomorrow, or as of taping tomorrow.
Yeah.
But Saturday's card at Hastings, 1st to 7 is, we'll get into the card, $25,000 3-and-up maidens going 6 furlongs. I went to the 1-horse Milshon. I liked them last time. You got the job done, but didn't maintain a straight course and was disqualified. So I got to follow the horse backs. Gets talented rider Dennis Arrojo. He's looks the part. He hasn't had
Yeah.
many chances yet, but I've liked what I've seen from him in the mornings and what his limited opportunities have been in the afternoon. He's from Uruguay. He's a really nice rider, nice guy, and he sits the horse nice.
Looks very polished, yeah.
He looks like a polished rider. He looks like he's won a pile of races, and he has. So if you see Dennis Arrojo on your horse, don't be afraid to bet him. And I put the 3-horse BC Charlie for Craig McPherson in the second spot. Good first up run last year. Followed that up with an unsuccessful run in the nursery, but obviously something went off the rails. Was given the rest of the season off and working well for a top outfit. And I put the 4-horse Keep Right On in for third. Been training reasonably well. Nicely spotted here. I didn't see anything else that I wanted to fall in love with. I went 1, 3, and 4.
I don't know much to add. Those are the horses. I mean, as you mentioned, Milshon won first out. He did get disqualified, but he's basically a winner running against maidens here. Looks very tough for Sylvia Gregory. BC Charlie, he was a very highly thought of 2-year-old last year. I know they were really high on this guy.
Could be by Philly Hippie, but still ran a good race.
And Hippie, her first out looked very good as well. So no shame in that. And I got the same horse in third. Keep Right On. I'm right with Mike. 1, 3, 4 in the first with Milshon on top. On the second, nice little maiden special weight for fillies and mares. Actually, for fillies, they're all 3-year-old fillies. Field of 7 lined up here. I went to the 1-horse Estelado out of the Barb Heads barn, out of the good race mare Rosada. I just like the fact that she was running against horses who had had a start in her first out. Like she ran second behind, or third, sorry, behind Getting Beat to Lynx by Don't Tell My Husband, who's probably going to be favorite in here. But I think she can take a big step forward.
She has the most upside. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
She can move.
Moving forward off that. She got a good 56 buyer for that. That was Don't Tell My Husband's 6th start. That was her first start. I think she can turn it over today and get the better of her. Antonio Reyes sticks with her. I got her on top. And I went to Oasis Wells. Well-bred daughter of Desert Party for Hall of Fame trainer Troy Taylor. His young horses always run very good first out. I like to see Richard Hamill take the call. Of course, David Lopez was injured last weekend in a riding spill.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He'll be out about 6 weeks.
Yeah, broke his sternum, which sounds very painful. All the best in his recovery to David Lopez. Not only a very good rider, but an absolute
super guy.
Gentleman.
What a cool guy.
Wonderful guy. So great to see Dave on the improve and hopefully back sooner rather than later. And I put Don't Tell My Husband, the most seasoned girl in here. A good second last time behind a well-meant Omi. You got to throw her in the mix. I put her in third. I went 1, 5, and 4.
Yeah, I agree with Estelado. I think she's got the most upside of anyone.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, was out of the damn Rosada, and who won on her when she won a stake?
Mario Gutierrez, yes. Won the fantasy on
Mario
it,
just keeps, his name keeps coming up this week.
Well ingrained here in the Hastings racing.
But Estelado, kind of green leaving the gate, but moved up the inside nicely to get third. Only got beat a length for second, and I just think she will improve enough out of that race to defeat a more seasoned Don't Tell My Husband. I thought those were the two. I put Don't Tell My Husband in for second. I put Princess El Prado for Mike Anderson in for third. Wilden Thoroughbreds, Mike Wilden send the horse down to Mike and Phoenix. Got the prep down there. Has come back and worked well here at Hastings. Wouldn't be surprised to see this one win at first asking either. I didn't love any of the 3, but I went Estelado. I think she's got some upside, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the 7 win. I went 1.
Yeah, this is a race I would go deep in.
I left Oasis Wells out, and that horse could win by 5. I just looks like it's been over ready. Had a bunch of half-mile works and.
I left out Princess of Prado, and you look back that work 2 back in 59 and 3. Yeah. That's pretty nice for a horse that hasn't run yet. Yeah,
debuts on the Lasix program, as does the 5 Oasis Wells. So good little second race. I went 1, 4, and 7 though in race number 2. On to the third. Got some $16,000 older horses going 6.5 furlongs. You'll notice most of the races this weekend, as they should be, are 6.5 furlongs.
We're getting back to 6.5.
Get rid of that 6 furlongs. I went to the 6. It's finally Friday. He looks to have found a field that he should be able to beat. He gets to run protected for 16. He was reclaimed by Bud Millette and Anita Bolton, and I just think this horse is pretty live in here. Look for this horse to be pretty tough on the head end. There's no speed. I can't find a horse to go with him. Like Rebus has some speed, but he's route speed. Senor Rojo, Twist Grip, Citron Kid, and Bluegrass Pride kind of all come from off the pace, as does Irish Romeo. So I just think it's finally Friday's in a great spot. Pedro will certainly have this horse on the lead, so I'll go to him to win it. Put Twist Grips, who's on the class drop, in for second. I wouldn't be surprised. He's the best horse in the race, definitely Twist Grips, but I'm just worried about the pace scenario.
Yeah.
That's what may get him beat. And I put the 7-horse Irish Romeo in for third. I was between Senior Rojo and Irish Romeo, both off the pace horses that might fall victim to slow paces in for third. But I went 6, 3, and 7. I really like It's Finally Friday.
I think It's Finally Friday will be tough. I did put Senior Rojo on top, though, because I like the fact that he had an out. It wasn't much of an out. It was a disappointing race for him. That was for 25 against Richter Red. Now he drops in for 16. And It's Finally Friday's making his first start. And if he falters at all, I think the old boy, Senior Rojo, could come running, maybe catch him late. So I did put him on top of It's Finally Friday in second, and I put Tris Grips in third. Those are the three for me, but I would put Senior Rojo and It's Finally Friday.
Go too deep.
Those would be my two in here. I went 2, 6, and 3 in the third. On to the fourth.
A 4-pager. We don't have a 4-pager.
I don't even have
many 4-page races.
I don't have this much room on the desk here.
Great.
There we go. 11 horses with a lot of form on them. $8,000 claiming event, 4 older colts and geldings, 6.5 furlongs. I went down to the 3 Gambay. Not really a sprinter. And last time he went 6 furlongs, it was a 62.50, but he absolutely just demolished that field. He ran away from him. I was super impressed with that run out of him. With a big field, there should be enough pace in here, give him something to run at. I didn't like him last time going 6 furlongs.
Neither did I. I was caught off guard with him. I could see him winning at the 62.50 level, but at 6 furlongs, I was like you, kind of shocked.
Yeah.
I could see him running on to hit the board or something because he is a classy old dude. But
yeah, he's made $250,000. But he just ran away from him. I mean, he wasn't the best. He was much the best. So I put him on top. I put Talk's Charm in second, another closer. But this guy always fires fresh. And another one I might be a little short for, but I'd like to see Pedro takes the call on him. He won on him in his last out last year. Only a couple seconds, or thirds, sorry, to show at this distance. But he's been training well for this, and I know Pedro had some options in here, and he took Talk's Charm. And I put Samilkameen Joey in the third spot. He could get away from him in here. He will be part of the pace presence. Been training very well for this. Nice 59 in his last work. But he's making his first start of the year, so see how far he can take him going 6.5. I put him in third. I went 3, 10, and 6.
Yeah, I went to the 6-horse Samilkameen Joey. I don't see a pile of speed in here. I think he gets the lead. He's been training beautifully for Bill Connick Jr.
Yeah.
And Dennis Arroyo should have this horse right on the lead, and I don't see anyone to go with him. Looking around for speed, for pressure, I just don't see anyone that's going to take this horse, look him in the eye and ruin his day. I think he gets a 22-2 lead and has a 2-length lead in that with that, and 45 and change, and it's his race to win or lose from there. But I'm going to go Samilkameen Joey. I agree with Gambay. I'm going to follow him back, and I put the 4-horse London, who had a very unlucky trip last time, but definitely was bad. This horse was the best. He was going to win that day, was bottled up down on the inside, had no racing room through the final 1/8 of a mile. He waited. He was like blocked and stopped and was best. He never got clear again.
Yeah, tough go, yeah.
This horse was best last time was London, but this is a tougher, I don't know. I know Gambay was running by him, but I think those 3 horses are interchangeable. But I just think Samilkameen Joey's going to get away on him. I don't think London and Gambay are going to get the contested pace that they got last time. It did favor closers. That race, there was a lot of pace on. It was contested. It wasn't super fast, but it was contested, and it helped Gambay and London, who were stalking. So, but I think Samilkameen Joey's the one to beat. Another one to mention, maybe the 11-horse, What Goes Around. He's a pretty cool little horse. He might be able to get in there with Scott Williams. He probably not his best sprinting.
I just want to see him go long, yeah.
Yeah, Talk's Charm, another one long. Fleming's Beach isn't a bad horse either.
Yeah, I know.
He's another one we've left off. Amadeo Perez rides for Pat Char. Another one that has the ability. This is a salty little race. Anytime you get 11 horses in a field. But with no speed in the race, you got 11 horses. I want to be on the head end. Yeah. And Samilkameen Joey's on the head.
The 1-horse, too, At the Ritz. He had a nice campaign last year.
Another road horse.
Another one, yeah, but he's another one he wants to go long.
6, 3, and 4. I like Samilkameen Joey. He's going to be tough. On to the 5th race, our first of 2 stakes races on the afternoon. This is for fillies and mares. This is the Vancouver Sun. Got 7 of them signed on, going 6.5 furlongs. I ended up in the 3-horse Arabella's Muse. I think she closed out the season beautifully, although she left on BC Cup Day. Was not seen again, which cost her championship honors. But she's been working well for Mike Anderson and Richard Hamill. And she's a good sprinter. I mean, she is a really good speed horse. She can route. She can carry speed a long ways, but she's a good sprinter as well. I think she'll make Avadiva's day a little tough, and she got things pretty comfy on the head end, took advantage of her conditioning in the Brighouse Bells, and that was Quatre Cat, Majestic Pride. This race has come up tougher with Touching Promise and Arabella's Muse in it, so I think Arabella's Muse is your horse. I put Majestic Presence with the blinkers on. Maybe this horse will go a little bit better. Loomed up, hung last time. Shouldn't have hung, but did.
Yeah.
Had lots of miles into her, but maybe the blinkers will help keep her more focused. And I put the One Touching Promise. Not her best distance at all. That's why I didn't pick her top two. She's definitely a better pace route horse than she is a sprinter, and but I think she might come running on and get a piece of it. I went 3, 7, and 1.
I got the same horses. I did put Arabella's Muse on top.
Yep.
Yeah, she's a horse to beat.
She's a sprinter. She's the good speed horse.
Yeah, she's never been out of the money sprinting at this distance, going 6.5. She just looks very tough in here. I love the way she was running last year before she went to the sidelines. Seemed to be in command of the older mare category when she did go to the sidelines. I got her on top. I put Touching Promise in the second spot. I know it's not her best distance, but look at her record. 7 starts at 6.5, 5 of those in the money. So I do not want to leave her out of any try or even exactor tickets. I put her in the second spot, and I put Majestic Presence in the third spot. Left out Avadiva. Rather Beautiful could bounce back. I know Dino, when I talked to him after Modern One last time, I know he was really disappointed in Rather Beautiful. He thought that she was training beautifully for this.
She was going good.
Yeah,
I've been watching her in the morning. She's been great.
She'd had some issues last year. He, really felt that she was over that, and was really disappointed with the way she ran. She could bounce back with a big effort, but I did go 3, 1, and 7 with Arabella's Muse on top in the Vancouver Sun. On to the 6th maiden $4,000 claimant event, 6.5 for fillies and mares. Field of 10 here. I went to the 6 mini fridge looking for Mike Anderson to win 2 in a row here. Ran first out in that maiden 16 with Valid Vow and Lady Cash Sakura won it. Only got beat 4 lengths with David Lopez in the irons. Hamill takes over. Now takes a big drop down to the $4,000 level. I think that could put Mini Fridge over the hump. She's never run this cheap. Last year as a 2-year-old, she was running second for maiden 25. Drops in for maiden 4. I like Mini Fridge. I put a Fleet Alice in the second spot. She's the one that took the big drop down last time. Showed up, was a filly looked like she had some promise last year. She's in a Fleet Alex, owned by Stephen McDonald. Looked like she was going to be a decent filly. Showed up first time this year, 4 maiden 4. Got beat by Mel Snow's Baja Storm, but comes right back at the $4,000 level. It should be pretty tough in here. I got her in second. And after that, I think it's those two. Those are the two that really scare me in here. I went with Ruffy Rose, an old pick of yours here, Mike.
Yeah.
Really, looked like she had talent, but not a lot of brains early on in her career. Was a real handful in the paddock, in the gate, even on post parade. Yeah. But as the season wore on, you could see her getting much better. She's been training good for this, and if she's got her head together and Carl's got her,
That's the whole key.
in the right spots mentally, she could be very dangerous in here. Nice prep for her in 35 and 2. I went 6, 10, and 2.
Yeah. I tried the one horse Brooklyn Boss in here for Anita Bolton. This horse has got some speed.
I can see that.
Has good connections. The rail, not a tough spot to make her 2016 debut. Pedro rides. I don't have any strong feelings about the horse, but I just think there's not much speed in here. I think this horse can get the lead. It's going to be a pace horse, and going to be tough. I put the 10, the Fleet Alice in for second. Unlucky loss. Not unlucky, but just, had a lot of chances to win that day. But still, I think the horse will go well. Antonio Reyes rides. And I put Mini Fridge in for that. I like 1, 10, and 6. I really didn't. I can see the 2 Ruffy Rose. I like playing the older mares in some of these races. But perhaps Ruffy Rose will run well. But it's not a race where you can actually strongly grab onto a horse and say, I love this horse. And it's just not, it's not there. This is definitely one of them races. If you're playing the pick 4 or the Sea to Sky pick 6, you really should play a few horses, because if you're just taking 1 or 2, you're kind of gambling a little bit. But I went 1, 10, and 6 in the 6th. On to the 7th and final on the Saturday program. This is the George Royal, named after, of course, the Hall of Fame horse that won the San Juan Capistrano, has won 9 stakes one year here at Hastings in the 60s.
One of the all-time greats. Before
Hall.
Mario went down and started winning big races in California,
That's
George
right.
Royal did it first.
George Royal was our guy, and he was winning the big races down south. But great to have, once again, to have this race. And got 6 of them signed on to go 6.5 furlongs, which was not George Royal's best distance by any means. He won the San Juan Capistrano at 1 3/4 miles. But I went to the 5 Hollywood Angel. I'm going to try and turn the tables on Modern. I just think getting off the rail will be a big edge for him.
Yeah.
Him, pardon me. Hollywood Angel was running, had a fitness edge, or not a fitness edge, but had a conditioning edge, I guess,
Yeah.
on Modern. But Modern had a lot of spring training into him. But it got Modern cleared, got the lead. Hollywood Angel kind of bottled up in behind, angled out, was getting to Modern.
And he got a
but
23
just slowly. I don't think the pace
then
is
it's
going to be
over.
super fast, but
Yeah.
I just think Hollywood Angel will be the one sitting off of Modern. I think he gets dead aim sitting on the outside instead of being covered up in behind eating dirt. You're going to fire way better the last quarter mile when you're in the clear as opposed to when you're covered up and having to wait to get out before Hamill pushed the button on Modern and then Hollywood Angel finally got out. But I'm going to try 5-1. Put Square Dancer in for third. He's not a sprinter, but who knows? I didn't like him in a couple races last year and he won easy. So
I'm taking him.
5-1-6.
I'm going with Square Dancer.
He's all yours.
I think there's enough speed in here. Like there is quite a bit of speed. Venetian
see
Mass looks to be
That horse
quick.
can't get out there, can he? He's not a.
Well,
speed horse.
he's route speed,
Yeah, I know.
but he's
He'll be behind Hollywood Angel, I think.
he's been working really well.
Yeah.
For
he's been
this.
lighting it up, you're
So I think maybe he tries to go with Modern, but I did go Square Dancer on top. I'm hoping it sets up for him. He's been working extremely
he's
well
doing
for
well.
this. 59-3, 47-1, bullet. Just a spectacular year last year. Can he do it again?
Probably.
That remains
He'll
to be
just probably
seen.
keep
Scott
doing it.
Williams is on him. Scott knows his horse well. He won on him last year. So I put Square Dancer on top of Modern, who obviously is your horse to beat in here. Very nice race last time, and a horse that seems to get better with age. And I put Highway Boss in the third spot. This horse absolutely got wiped out at the gate last time, was out of the race, seemed to have no chance, and still only got beat 4 lengths. He's a nice horse, and I think with a cleaner trip, he could be closer, so I put him in the third spot. I went 6-1-2 in the George Royal. That's the nightcap at Hastings. What we'll do now is we're going to look at our picks for Saturday's card at Hastings.
Back in race number 1.
Before we get to our analysis of the Kentucky Derby.
We'll hit the Kentucky Derby. Back in race number 1 over the 1, Milshon over the 3 and 4. Race number 2 under the 1, Estelato. 1-4-7 for me in the second. And the race number 3, I went to the 6. It's finally Friday over the 3, Tourist Grips in the 7, Irish Romeo. Race number 4, I went to the 6, Similkameen Joey. I like the Similkameens this weekend. I picked Similkameen Luke tomorrow as well. I went 6, 3 and 4 in the 4th. Race number 5 went to the 3, Arabelle's Muse. 3, 7 and 1. Race number 6 went to the 1, Brooklyn Boss over the 10, the Fleet Alice, and the 6, Mini Fridge. And in the 7th and final, I got to try the 5, Hollywood Angel, 5-1-6 in the George Royal.
On to my picks. There we go. In the first, I agree with Mike. I went with Milshon, the 1 over the 3 and the 4. In the second, back to the 1, Estelato over the 5 and the 4. In the third, I went to the 2, Senior Rojo over the 6 and the 3. In the fourth, I went to the 3, Ganbei. I'm going with all the old guys here. Ganbei over the 10 and the 6.
They're reliable.
They're reliable old guys. In the fifth, I went to the 3, Arabella's Muse over the 1, Touching Promise, and the 7, Majestic Presence. In the sixth, I went to the 6, Mini Fridge over the 10 and the 2. And in the George Royal, the nightcap, I went to the 6, Square Dancer over the 1, Modern, and the 2, Highway Boss. And now, of course, all eyes will be on Louisville, Kentucky. Race runs about 3:30 our time on Saturday. The 142nd running of the Run for the Roses, the Kentucky Derby.
I've seen 42 of them. Not the first 100 I missed.
You've seen more than I have.
Yeah.
I've paid close attention to the last 20. I can guarantee you that.
I've seen Secretariat, so that was I've seen a lot of them. Anyway,
I was not with us when Secretariat won the Kentucky Derby. All eyes around these parts, of course, will be number 13, Nyquist. As I mentioned in opening, he was the number 13 last year in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Yeah. I think Nyquist is head and shoulders above this field. I don't know how tough of a year it is, but nobody has stood out like Nyquist. He's won everything they've thrown at him. He's been based in California. They took him to the Florida Derby because there was a big bonus. He ran into, at that time, who was the Kentucky Derby favorite, Mailman, and absolutely destroyed him. Won by almost 4 lengths that day. Even looked a little green, was getting out a little bit down the lane. I watched his work the other day at Keeneland. He looked very good. All systems go for Mario. He's going to be your favorite. I like the fact he didn't get an inside post. I thought that's the only thing that could really mess up his chances. I like the fact I wouldn't even mind seeing him a little further out, but the 13 works good. I have him on top. I love Nyquist on this day. I put the 17 More Spirit in for second. I think this horse has more to offer. You get Bob Baffert. Not only has Bob Baffert won this race multiple times, the amount of times he's ran second or third, is a lot. Of course, the last time that he ran into Mario, he ran second with Bodemeister. I like More Spirit a lot. I know Stevens is high on this horse. He thinks he's coming in the race very well. Great connections with Bob Baffert and Gary Stevens. So I put him in the second spot. And Brody's Cause, kind of a wise guy horse coming off a win in the Bluegrass. A lot of people talking about Brody's Cause. I mean, it's a Kentucky Derby. You can make a case for a lot of these.
Yep.
Gun Runner is kind of a wise guy horse. A lot of people like Gun Runner. Sudden Breaking News is kind of a long shot pick for me. He'll be rolling late. But there's a lot of closers in this race. Not a ton of speed. I think the horses that are forwardly placed are going to be the toughest. That's why I love Nyquist. More Spirit, Brody's Cause, and a shout out to another former rider at Hastings Park here, Aaron Grider, riding the one, a maiden in here, Trojan Nation.
Yeah, it should be good. Great to see Aaron in the big race.
Yep.
But I agree with you, Drew. Nyquist has done everything asked of him. He is winning with lots left in the tank. I just think he drifted out because he had lost his focus. There's no one around him.
Just kind of messing around.
Him comfortable, and this is a nice colt that is, even when his races that he won by half a length, he was just toying with, not maybe toying is the wrong word, but they were a measured half-length wins.
He was never in any danger.
He was always going to hold off the horse beside him. I love horses that do as much as they need to do to win, and he's one of those horses. If he needed another gear, he has it. And Nyquist looks like a special horse, but it wouldn't be the first time a special horse has thrown in a clunker on Derby Day, because it is a tough race. 150,000 people, 20 horses. It's the only time you're going to have 150,000 people watching you, 19 other horses to run against. It is an intimidating race, and that's why certain real good horses lose.
Watch him on Post Parade. Of course, he'll be on the big screen at Hastings. We'll have it obviously here at the Derby Bar and Grill, and at home you can watch it on NBC. But it's great to watch it on the high def. Like the NBC feed is fantastic. And watch them on Post Parade. They get a good shot on Post Parade. You can watch the guys. You will see some horses. They get pretty washy, and get a little tense because, as Mike mentioned, 150,000 people.
It's noisy. There's a lot of stuff.
These horses
going
can feel that pressure.
And a lot of them melt, and they just happen to run their one worst race of their life on that day, and that's why it's so hard to win the Triple Crown. But we get him at the Nyquist. He has speed. He can leave the gate. He's versatile. Mary can place him anywhere in the race. And as you mentioned, there's a lot of closers in here. I think Nyquist is going to stay out of trouble. They're going to be out there near the lead, not being used either. He's your horse. I think he's a solid key. To me, he's like 3 to 5. I know he's going to pay. Hopefully, he pays 5 to 2. But I mean, he's a 3 to 5.
He's 3 to 1 more in line. I think more 2 to 1 because
he is
there's so much money bet on this race that you never really get a low price in the Derby. Like 2 to 1 is pretty low. I think that's about as low as you see. You never even see an even money horse in the Derby. Like Big Brown, I think was 2 to 1. I could see him rounding out about 2 to 1.
I put the 5 Gun Runner. I'm going to put that one in for second. Steve Asmussen Runner. This horse did win the Louisiana Derby. Won it quite comfortably. Florent Giroux is one of the most underrated riders in the country. Well, maybe not underrated anymore because he won a couple Breeders' Cup races last year, or a few. He's a cool rider. He's winning multiple Grade 1s all the time. He is a nice rider.
He's one of the next superstars in our sport, that's for sure.
And I put Mohayman. I give that horse another shot. I know flattened out trying to win the race, chasing Nyquist last time, but he probably will be less aggressively ridden and will be flying late. But Nyquist, he is your horse. I went 13, 5, and 14 in the Kentucky Derby. Well, that'll do it for this.
Wait.
Oh, well, we're not done.
Up next on screen is going to be our picks.
There we go. 13, 5, 14 for Mikey Boy here in the KY Derby. And there's Drew. He's got the big double digits.
13, I'm all on the outside. 13, Nyquist over 17, More Spirit, and 19, Brody's Cause.
Should be a lot of fun.
It always is.
All the action gets underway at Hastings at 1:50 as usual. Don't forget Kentucky Oaks on Friday. That race on Friday just before 3 o'clock, and please do watch that. Cheer on Mario. Hopefully
Mario could get the Oaks Derby double.
13 daily double between the Oaks and the Derby for Mario Gutierrez. So once again, thanks everyone for tuning in. Should be a great afternoon, actually 2 great afternoons, Friday and Saturday. Don't forget to tune in for our Sunday show. Thanks for joining us here on Handicappers Corner, and we'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill.